Welcome back to your next lesson on collecting addresses. Did you know that the average couple spends around 8 hours collecting addresses in order to mail out their invitations? That's absolutely insane if you ask me. But let's be real. How many of you know your siblings, parents, or even best friend's phone number by heart? Many of us don't even remember our own phone number, let alone someone's mailing address. Traditionally, and according to etiquette, wedding invitations are the one piece of stationery that should be mailed out and not sent via the internet. While this does mean you're going to have to collect everyone's addresses, thanks to the internet and technology, this is no longer a daunting process. In this lesson, we'll go over how to collect addresses, platform tools for collection, as well as etiquette. So, how should you go about collecting everyone's addresses exactly? Number 1, use Facebook. You can send the guests you'd like to invite a message or a group message asking them to provide you with their mailing addresses. And while you're at it, you might as well collect their email addresses. And I suggest this is the number 1 resource because there are to date over 1 billion people active on Facebook. However, I'd err on the side of caution and tell you not to just post something on your wall saying, "Everyone please send me your address so we can mail out our wedding invitations," because that'll leave all 326 of your friends expecting an invitation. Only send a message to those people who you know you want there 1,000%. Number 2, and I laugh as I say this because I suddenly feel old, but asking your parents for their address book, and odds are if your parents are over the age of 40, they still have a physical address book, although it may not have been updated in a while, where they keep close family and friends' addresses. Ask them to borrow it and copy down all the addresses you will need, and you can enter them into a spreadsheet or an online platform. Number 3, ask your friends for help. For those guests who may not have social media and are not listed in your parents' address book, like old college friends, distant cousins, you can ask the bridal party for their help in getting addresses. Chances are you have a family member in your bridal party who can track down other family members' addresses, and your old college roommate and a maid of honor most likely will know other college friends and be able to help get the information to you. Your bridal party is appointed to do just that and help you with the things you need help with, so let this be one of the tasks that you delegate. If all else fails and your guests cannot be tracked down by either social media or your parents, your family or friends, the next option you have is to pick up the phone and give them a call and ask them personally for their addresses. It is also nice to be able to give them any important details they may need to know ahead of time, like the date and where it will be held, so they can start making arrangements before the invitation even arrives. Now, I wanted to go over some options you have if you choose to go the social media route and some platforms you can use to almost effortlessly collect and store these addresses. I'm going to share with you the top 4 online platforms I recommend and the reason why I recommend them along with their features. First up, we have Postable.com. It's a free site. It takes about 5 minutes to set up. They give you a link like postable.com/your name. You can then send out the link. You can email it to your friends and loved ones or share it on social media with family and friends. Your guests then add their information and your address book magically fills up. It's private and secure. They don't share your information with anyone. All of your info is safe in a cloud. You can group your contacts however you'd like and export your address book to Excel for creating labels and printing. Next up is ineedyouraddress.com. With this platform, you create a free website and personal URL. You then share the URL with friends and family via text message, email, Facebook, wherever. Then sit back and relax while your new website gathers and organizes the addresses for you. You share your personal your personal URL with family and friends so they can add their mailing addresses, phone numbers, and email addresses to your list. With this platform, your data is your data. You can download your data as a spreadsheet or CSV file at any time with no charge, limits, or hassles. They will never sell, use, or touch your data ever, period. Also, once you delete an address or name, it's gone. So make sure you download it first before deleting it. You can also create envelopes and labels with just a few clicks. Simply choose the size of the envelopes or labels, pick a font and color, select some or all of your addresses, click download, and bam, you're done. You can also import your existing names. If you have already started a list, then you can import your existing spreadsheet or CSV files right into your address list. You can add notes and tags to quickly sort, filter, and search your addresses. And you also have the ability to mark addresses as sent so you know who you've already sent invites to. Next up is Zola and the Knot. While they're both pretty much the same as the first two, they offer a lot more features than just address management, like guest list management, creating your wedding website, RSVP tracking, meal choices, and they give a way to communicate directly with your guests. So as you can see here, this is the Postable website. What you would do is you click on Get Started, then they give you a link, postable.com/ and your name. And they generate a link for you and you send the link out to your friends and loved ones, and then they add their information directly and your address book fills up. It really cannot get any simpler than this. Okay, I wanted to touch briefly on etiquette for a minute when it comes out to sending information to your guests, because I think in the technology-filled world we live in, there are still some etiquette rules that should apply and remain the same. Addresses are important to collect because once you're married, you may want to send out handwritten thank you cards, perhaps holiday cards, and naturally, if you decide to start a family, you may want to send out baby shower invitations or birth announcements. It's nice to receive those items by mail and makes the experience more personal. So, what can and what shouldn't you send to your guests electronically? It is okay to send your save the dates, but again, remember, only to those you actually plan on inviting. You can send your wedding website link electronically. You can send a link to your gift registry electronically. You can send any updates or changes out electronically. Now, any shower or bachelorette party invitations or information can be sent out electronically, but it is nice to receive an actual invitation for those. You should not send your invitations or your thank you cards out electronically. Let me repeat that. You should not send your invitations or your thank you cards out electronically. I state this loosely as I'm aware of the fact that we now live in a digital age and everything is done electronically. But again, it is your wedding and you choose what works best for you and your circumstances. If you're trying to save every penny possible, no one is going to fault you for sending out invitations electronically. But if at all possible, those are etiquette rules that still should be followed. Should you choose to send out your invitations electronically, do your best to, at the very minimum, personally handwrite a thank you note to your guests. Moving on to social media, yay or nay. Although we have all this new wonderful technology available to us, making tasks much quicker and easier for us to complete, the downside is the dark web, where people abuse the technology and hack into people's accounts and systems in order to collect their personal information for their own benefit or gain. If you choose to go the social media route, my suggestion to you would be to join a platform where you can create a link to send them so they can in turn enter their personal information on a secured platform where their information is not at risk of being compromised. And as far as email is concerned, again, keep in mind that it is not all secure and can be hacked. So you should keep that in mind when sending or asking people to send you their personal information. Also, keep in mind that people often change their email addresses or close their accounts. So if that is the only way you are communicating with them, you'll want to make sure you have their most up-to-date email addresses. Okay, so I wanted to end this lesson by giving you a couple address tips to make the process a lot easier. And first, don't make it difficult. Ask your bridal party to help you with this task. That is what they're supposed to do. Make sure you put all of your addresses in one central place, not handwritten in 5 different notebooks. Now, I'm aware that not everyone is Excel savvy or knows how to create a comprehensive collection list. So, as a bonus, I've saved you some time, and in the download section of this lesson, you will find an Excel tracker pre-built by me to track everything you may need to should you choose to use Excel as a tracking option. So, enjoy.